Okay, so highly requested video by many of you guys. That will be, of course, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite versus the Samsung Galaxy Tab S5e. Let's jump into it. Now, I want to go ahead and start off this video in an unusual way. I want to first highlight the extras or the additional features. Okay, so try to keep up here. So the Galaxy Tab S5e, although it's a mid-range tablet, it's actually a Samsung DeX capable device, which is just so crucial for many who want to have their tablet mimic a desktop setup. Now, for those of you who don't know what DeX is, it is essentially a UI built by Samsung, allowing your device to be set up a little bit like a desktop, and the Tab S6 Lite does not have that. However, the Tab S6 Lite has a S Pen, which the Tab S5 does not. So that becomes quite the conundrum there for those trying to figure out how to get the best of both and still stay in the mid-range tablet segment. And for those of you who are looking for the ability to use a stylus, kind of a native pen by Samsung, this is going to be crucial, right? So you probably go for the Tab S6 Lite. Now, I want to bring up the fact that I'm doing a giveaway probably next week. I am running some last minute, trying to finalize everything here before I officially announce. So make sure that you are subscribed. Now, if you haven't subscribed yet, of course, please go ahead and do so. Hit the subscribe button, also hit the like button, and of course the notification bell so that you'll be alerted as soon as I make that giveaway official. Now, the Tab S5e has quad speakers set up and tuned by AKG. They sound really, really nice. And the Tab S6 Lite has dual speakers set up instead, but also tuned by AKG. Now, they may not sound as loud as the Tab S5e speakers, but they sound just as crisp. The Tab S5 has a design flaw issue affecting the antenna and the way you can connect to Wi-Fi. The Tab S6 Lite does not have that issue. On the other hand, the Tab S5e has a fingerprint sensor embedded in the power button. The Tab S6 Lite doesn't. The Tab S5e is a 1-year-old tablet, so software support will fall off a year early compared to the Tab S6 Lite, which is a year newer, meaning it's going to be supported a year longer. The Tab S5e is compatible with an official Samsung keyboard, but the Tab S6 Lite is not compatible with an official Samsung keyboard. Now, if you need more details on these two tablets, make sure to check my full reviews on these two. But anyways, I want to go ahead and talk design now. Both of these are mid-range tablets, but the Tab S5e is slightly higher on the spectrum of mid-range tablets. It looks and feels premium with that rectangular shape with softly rounded corners. It's super thin, very light, so it's just so fantastic for portability. It has an all-metal back here, very smooth finish on the back here, and all of that, again, added to how thin this thing is, makes it look so sleek. And then you also have an SD card slot and a USB Type-C actually capable of data transfer, but unfortunately, you don't have a headphone jack on this one. The Tab S6 Lite does also have a very premium feel and look. It is slightly thicker, also a little bit more dense than the Tab S5e. Same uniform bezel design. It's also a very sleek design, right? And then you have that back that is just as smooth, and I just love this Angora blue that you have here. It also has an SD card slot. It has a USB Type-C, and this one has something that the Tab S5 does not have, and that is, of course, the headphone jack. Now, this is all subjective, right? So you might like something else. Now, as far as design goes, I personally would give it to the Tab S5e because it looks and feels a little bit more premium. It had that quad speaker setup, and it's a lighter tablet. All right, let's go ahead and talk specs, starting with the display here. The Tab S5e here boasts a Super AMOLED 10.5-inch display with a resolution of 1600 by 2560. So it's a very high density panel, and as you would imagine, of course, images are pretty sharp, right? So you have that nice level of saturation. Additionally, you have very nice viewing angles, and it's excellent for entertainment. The Galaxy Tab S6 Lite boasts a 10.4-inch TFT display with 2000 by 1200 for the resolution. Obviously, a little bit less resolution here compared to the Tab S5e. It is nevertheless also still a bright screen, right? So colors are actually pretty well pronounced, and then you have the screen that is fully laminated. So entertainment experience on there is actually pretty nice. The Tab S5 is loaded with a Snapdragon 670 coupled with that 4 gigs of RAM. One UI sitting on Android 9 on this unit here, and it is upgradable to Android 10. which I didn't do just yet. But anyways, it has excellent performance so far, great level of multitasking with zero issue. It is pretty smooth, pretty well suited for light to medium level of productivity, right? So it's very snappy. You're able to actually do some level of multitasking. Now, the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, on the other hand, is running the Exynos 9611. Also has One UI, but this time it's sitting on Android 10. Also coupled with 4 gigs of RAM, and this is just as nice for multitasking and navigating web pages and apps. It's actually pretty smooth so far. You get a pretty nice level of continuity connecting with your other Samsung devices and be able to still toggle back and forth, you know, doing split screen and all that good stuff. It works pretty well on both tablets actually. And this might shock you guys, but I have to say that the difference in speed here is pretty negligible. The Tab S6 Lite is right there, pretty close to the Tab S5e in performance, almost just as snappy. You can barely tell the difference when using these for day-to-day operations, right? Now, for the battery, each of them has a 7040 milliamp power, and for the Tab S5e, that's going to be fast charge at up to 18 watt versus the Tab S6 Lite fast charge at 15 watt. The battery size is just so nice for the Tab S5e given the size of the tablet itself. As you've seen already, it's a pretty thin tablet. Added to that, the type of display that it has here, it certainly shows that on the day-to-day usage. It's been very impressive, especially using it for light to moderate level of productivity. You still end the day with about 20% usage. Again, this is subjective, versus the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, where I ended the day with about 10 to 15% using it for light to moderate work. The camera on the Tab S5e is just nice. It's packed with higher specs when you compare it to the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. The main camera on the Tab S5e is a 13 megapixel camera capable of shooting 4K at 30 frames per second versus the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite, which has, I believe, an 8 megapixel camera capable of shooting 1080p at 30 frames per second. The selfie camera on the Tab S5e is an 8 megapixel one, and it does 1080p at 30 frames per second versus the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite camera or selfie camera, which is a 5 megapixel capable of doing also 1080p at 30 frames per second. But bottom line is that as far as cameras go, the Tab S5e definitely is superior because it actually shows in not only the pictures, but also just the videos. But either way, with all of that being said, many of you tend to worry about the virtual conferences, Zoom calls and things like that. But I'm happy to tell you that they actually perform excellent with Zoom calls or anything that's like virtual teleconference. The sound is clear and the images are actually pretty clean, pretty good. So they're both really nice in that department. Now, this video is actually getting too long, so I'm going to go ahead and have to stop here and give you my take. Now, both tablets are great options in the mid-range category. Now, if you are looking for something kind of mid-range, but that feels a little bit more premium and or has an AMOLED display, something a little bit more well-suited for gaming, and that is also Samsung DeX capable, and that also has specs that are better than most mid-range tablets, then maybe the Tab S5e is the one for you. If you are, however, looking for something that will be supported by Samsung a little longer, that offers an S Pen, so for you students out there, and it also offers a decent level of performance and kind of a nice blend of premium, and topped with an overall nice tablet for entertainment in general, then maybe you should go for the Galaxy Tab S6 Lite. But anyways, that's just my take, of course. I hope you found this informative. Please don't forget, of course, to like, comment, subscribe. As I mentioned, I'm going to catch you in the comment section. I'm also going to catch you in the next video, and up until then, stay safe out there.